Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is Daily Race B for the week commencing the 16th of May 2022. This week's Daily Race B is another Group 4 event, just like last week, at another one of my favourite tracks. So this week we have the Forest, but it is actually reversed, which is a bit weird and sort of caught me off guard at first. But do you know what? It exceeded expectations and it was a very, very enjoyable race that I had. So as you can see, I'm using the Group 4 Subaru, probably one of the sort of more controllable and easier to get to grips with cars in its class, as well as being one of the strongest if balance of performance is applied. So we're probably coming up to, I'd say, the most problematic corner of this whole track. As you can see, someone's sort of done a bit of a torpedo move, caused contact with me, and then sort of hit me again on the way out. And straight away I thought, oh great, this is how this race is going to be. It's going to be a nightmare. This is going to be full of absolute clowns. But it actually turned out to be a very good race, in my opinion. For me personally, there was quite a bit of contact and some silly moves going off. But I mean, for me personally, I don't mind a bit of contact or like door-to-door racing. If it's hard racing, if it's fun racing, and if you're not just being, silly really, and sort of just causing contact and taking people out, I think then that's just stupid. But a bit of contact from hard racing, or if you're pushing a bit too hard, I can sort of give you a bit of leeway, and I'll give myself a bit of leeway because I mean I've made mistakes, and I still do make mistakes sometimes where I'll just push a bit too hard. I did make a mistake during this race, which you'll see later. But yeah, I mean, contact, sometimes it happens, sometimes it's unavoidable. You might have a car going off um, down the track somewhere, and it'll cause some of the cars behind to sort of pile up and hit each other and stuff. Luckily, ghosting is on in sport mode for this, but sometimes it does happen, and for me, that's just part of racing. So we're going on to lap 2 here, and I've come up one position. I did sort of at this point think, oh, maybe I'm just going to be sort of, sat here all race, but it did turn out to be one of the more entertaining races that I've done. I'm trying to out drag the GTR down the straight here. I sort of do have the better run with the acceleration and stuff of this car. It's very good. But then as the straight gets longer and longer, the GTR does outmatch the Subaru on its top end. I was going to, if there was room, or if I'd managed to be a bit late on the brakes, sort of try and make the move on the inside. But I did think the better of it and sort of backed out and gave the GTR the space to keep his position. I got my composure together, and I'm sort of looking into the long run. As you can see, we're catching this Subaru here. I don't really know what happened. He just sort of appeared for a bit out of nowhere. And both me and the GTR are closing in on him. I did get quite a good sector here. I was really sort of getting to grips with how this opposite layout works, the reverse layout. I did get a few good runs. As you can see, I sort of looked to the inside, but then I thought the better of it again. I'm not just going to, torpedo myself at the inside. It's not worth it for him, and it's not worth it for me, and it just makes me look, really bad. So I've got back in the slipstream as we go on to lap 3. So you've got a couple of cars serving penalties there. That's put me up into 7th. So that's 3 positions gained, and here I'm sort of getting a better run. I've pulled out the slipstream, and I'm going to see if I can try and get him here. I'm not going to be able to, sort of backed out because it looked like there was going to be an accident. So I thought, now I'm going to back out and sort of, try and recover that time lost there later on. I get a much better run than the GTR does, and I'm going to try and push that bit harder down the straight this time and try and get the overtake done. So like I mentioned, the acceleration on the Subaru is much better than the GTR in my opinion, and it just feels much quicker out of corners. But the GTR definitely is a lot quicker on the top end. As you can see, it starts gaining there, even though I got the better run. I'm going to keep the inside, and this time I've finally got my move done, and I'm going to try and set my sights for 5th place. So we've gone up 4 places by lap 3. So this little corner here is quite tricky. It can catch you out. It did look like it caught the Subaru out a bit there, but obviously it didn't catch him out too much. I'm going to get another good sector through here, and I'm really going to start gaining. As you can see, there's another Subaru just up ahead that we are starting to gain on now. as we come down into this corner here, I'm sort of trying to figure out what line I'm going to take. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it was brake checking me on purpose or not, or he sort of caught himself off guard. But there was a little bit of contact, and for me that just seemed like a bit of a sudden bit of brake in there. I'm going to try and get back in the slipstream, and we're going to see what happens if we take the run up to the corner of death, I want to call it. That hairpin is, yeah, it's a bit crazy up there. So we're on lap 4 and I'm still following, and I'm going to take a lot more speed through this corner. I've not backed out. As you can see, the GTR just seems to come out of nowhere. That's 2 GTRs I've had, you know, basically appear out of nowhere on that corner, both the same colour, funnily enough. And then I'm just going to, you know, recompose myself. That guy there just looks like too much time now. It did seem like a bit of a silly move, but hey ho, we move. So I'm still staying in the slipstream all the way down here, and this is where I make a bit of a silly move that I was talking about earlier. I just sort of pulled out. For me, he did kind of, you know, turn it a bit early. He should have sort of left the room and not really shut the door too quick, especially if I'm there. I don't think I was really going to go for the overtake. I think I was just sort of putting my car there, because that's sort of the line I took. But yeah, it was a bit of contact, bit of silly move on my part, but I do personally think he maybe should have left a little bit more room, just to account for me being there. He would have got the position either way. Again, another bit of a hard break, which seemed a bit silly, but I'm going to make the move on the inside here. He's sort of hitting me a bit and I'm getting on the grass, but I've got the move done, so be it. You know, I'm past him, I'm up to P5, so that is 5 positions we've improved since the start of the race. So we're going on to the last lap here, and for me, I'm already like, I'm buzzing, you know. I've gone 5 places. I didn't really do much qualifying or anything for this event, but I have, you know, I've made my way up. I've took advantage of every situation I've been given. Just a bit of hard racing, yeah, there've been contact at times. Not always my fault, but, you know, maybe I could have avoided that. The Subaru here came out of absolutely nowhere, so I've sort of slowed it down to take evasive action, and we've gone up to P4, so that is 6 positions improved. And I'm going to stay in the slipstream here for this Subaru, and just try and, you know, sort of drag him down the straight, and just sort of see what happens. At this point, I'm expecting, you know, a P4 finish maybe, or I might be able to. But then all of a sudden, a car out of nowhere, and by the look of it, the Italian driver here did cause the contact. Obviously, a 5-second penalty, so something must have gone on there. But I've managed to survive, and I'm still going to chase down this Subaru for P3 and try and get myself into the podium positions. I do run a bit wide there. So all the way since, you know, this car's been in sight, really, it did seem to lose quite a bit of time through this sector. So I'm really trying to push now, and just to see if I can get in P3 by, you know, chance. I do get another quick sector through there, and I have gained a bit of time. As you can see, he just outbrakes himself and runs a bit wide. I'm going to take the inside line. And then all of a sudden he's on the grass into the barrier. I take evasive action just in case he tries to take me out. He doesn't, so, you know, thank you for being clean there. And I managed to get P3 and get myself on the podium. So I went up 7 positions in this, you know, this race, and honestly, it was so much fun. And these Group 4 events have been really strong the last few weeks. So let me give you my opinion on it. So if you ask me, should you take part in this week's Daily Race B, 100%. It's a massively enjoyable event. It's a bit more chaotic than last week. I feel like the Trial Mountain one last week was quite a clean event. I didn't see too much shenanigans, and I did take part in quite a lot of races for that last week, and I really enjoyed myself. This event this week, though, it's more chaotic, but again, it's just so much fun. These Group 4 cars seem to really produce some of the best racing in the game, some of the most enjoyable racing in the game. You know, these 5-lap Group 4 events, you know, there's no fuel saving or pit stopping. It's just flat out hard racing to the end, and I feel like it has that touring car feel to it, and honestly, it's great fun, and you will enjoy it. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. I make videos on everything Gran Turismo, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Cheers, guys.